Welcome to a new video. This time I'm with Anya. In this video it's gonna be about the things we like in Japan, the things we dislike, and fun stories, fun anecdote that happened to us during first 3 months that we are now living in Japan. The thing is that I made a list of the things I like, dislike, and funny stories, and she also made a list. I don't know what's on her list and she doesn't know what's on my list. We are gonna react together. So maybe the video is gonna be a bit longer than what I do usually, but I also think that it's gonna be a fun video because we have great stories to share, at least when I know what I have on my list. Let's just start.
Let's just start. Here is my list.
So here's my list on my phone. Don't look at it.
I'm old school, you know. I'm still writing on the paper.
So you want to start or do I start?
I'm gonna start because maybe we have the same one and you know.
Okay. I will check if I have the same points on my list also.
My first favorite thing about Japan is actually about Japanese people. They are so helpful. Every time when I'm outside and I have some issues or in shop or with a taxi or I don't find any place or location, if I'm gonna ask someone, they are always gonna help. They are gonna always do even more than it's expected from them to do, you know?
Like go out of their life, almost go with you few hundred meters to show you the place you're searching, or I don't know.
You know, one day it happened that I was with all three kids in the mall. You were on this training and I was like having these bags of groceries, shopping bags of groceries, and I needed taxi. So I asked one woman to help me and she waited for her husband to come, and the husband immediately took my groceries and they go with me outside to find me a taxi. They put me in the taxi with the kids. They put the groceries in the back of the taxi, and I think they maybe even before that they even called the taxi on the info, you know, info place. So it was so incredible to see how much help you get from the Japanese people. I don't know if they are raised this way to help or that's just their kind spirits.
Maybe it's just part of their culture to be nice and to be helpful.
When they don't know how to help, they are gonna take their phones out, search for the solution.
So yes, on this point we have the same thing. On my list.
I was sure.
On my list I wrote politeness and respectful. That's exactly what you said. They're always willing to help. I think that's the first thing that every tourist or every foreigner that comes to Japan notice, because it's a general feeling that people are helpful. Then I will tell something else. That's something that's maybe not that particular. It's the point that the shops are open every day, like even on Sundays, you know, Monday to Sunday it's always open. Okay, when in some kind of holiday it's closed, but usually it's open every day.
But even on holidays we saw that the small shops were open.
So that's something really cool, because you know in Europe usually the Sundays are closed or almost everything is closed. Here you can, when you need something, when you need to I don't know, to buy diapers or you know things that are essential or not essential. I don't know. Anya has no milk for her coffee. I can go downstairs.
But on Sundays, what is really different is that there are not just small shops open.
All the shops.
Everything.
Yes. Sunday is a normal day like the others. It's not like the weekend or the day off. So that's that's the point that I really like, because you never know.
The one thing it's gonna be maybe surprising that I really like about Japan. Don't look at my list.
I'm not looking.
It's that I love their bowing. How do you pronounce
bowing?
It? Bowing. I love it because for me, I think it's such a nice gesture to show respect for other human beings. I don't know the exact rules about bowing, because I know that there are some different. You can bow twice or maybe once, and you can bow a little bit further and just a little bit. It's so incredible. Everywhere you go, in every interaction with people bow. It's such a beautiful gesture of respect, of I see you, you are there, I bow to you.
I will put a bow counter. She said it like 15 times already, so I will put a count there when I
really love this idea about bowing.
No, but it's true, because in my last video about fun facts in Japan, but in handball, you can check the video in the corner there. We also bow after the game to our opponents' coaching staff, to the referees, to the public. Again, it's part of the Japanese culture. It's showing the respect to the other. It's also important in the hierarchy, if it's your boss, if it's someone that is more important than you. So yes, that's also something, let me check. I didn't write this point. Oh yes, bowing as a sign of respect. So again, we wrote the same thing. Showing respect to the other, I think it's something we need more of today in our lives. It's my turn.
It's your turn.
Let's talk about something I wrote. Hopefully in the next month we will be able also to discover more. I wrote beauties of the country, so much to see. So that's the keywords I wrote. We went to Osaka. We went to Nara to see the deers walking freely. There is so many things we would like to see. With the nice days coming, I hope we're gonna enjoy more. Yes.
We for sure gonna visit Kyoto. We are gonna go to see Tokyo a little bit more maybe.
Your dream is to go to Okinawa.
My dream is to see Okinawa.
Okinawa, if you don't know, if you're not from Japan or if you're not familiar, it's a big island in the south of Japan.
Fun fact, it's a blue zone by National Geographic because there are living one of the oldest people in the earth.
Like the most over 100 people are living in Okinawa, and it's so beautiful. I went there with the team, we played there. Sadly didn't see so much about the beauties, what you can see from the plane and things like this, but if I find some videos I will put them on the screen so that you see how beautiful it is. It's like really sandy beaches and crystal clear water, so it's something we would like to see also, yes.
I have another positive fact. So my number three, we Europeans, Slovenians, we don't know how to pronounce nicely three. So yeah, my number 3 is gifting. Gifting is really a huge thing in Japan.
Sorry, I wrote culture, gift culture like in the Balkans. So you see, once again.
Okay, but I think Japanese go even further. We Balkans, we love to do it, but Japanese are the next level of gifting. For example, there was really nice wife of a player who took us to the match, and she picked us up, all my 3 kids and her 2 kids, and we went to the match. She brought gift for all of my 3 kids. Then another woman came and she say hi, she represent herself, and in the mid-time of the match, she went out to buy some gifts for our kids. So she bought some chocolate, some small stuff, really, really nice. And then on the next match, some other man came from the club and say hi, he represent himself and again offer us a gift. It was some food that he brought for us and for kids, so it was really, really nice. And that's happening all the time. You meet new people and they are gonna gift your children. You came to the club, the player came and bring you some stuff.
As you're speaking, I'm looking on my phone, I'm searching on Google, and it's part of the culture.
Yeah,
it's a tradition in Japan. I will put I have here on the phone. I will put in the description the link if it's interesting for you. So many ways and so many reasons to offer gifts in Japan, and that's something, yes, I agree.
But honestly, that's something that's really beautiful and really, really nice gesture. And I want to do it more myself, you know, for my family and friends. I'm doing it, but even more. But at the same time, it's also hard. I have to remember who give. You see, I met someone for the first time and I should remember and give back, and I'm always confused. For example, now for the next match, what do I have to bring with me? I should really think about it more, and I should really read about Japanese gifting.
I will put the link, you can click in the description.
So I will be able to be less embarrassed and more respecting this cultural gifting. And then I come to my number 4.
Should I maybe my turn, or you want to?
No, because
wait, I go.
It's so connected that I really just want to say it's Japanese culture of celebrating holidays. They're really so excited about holidays, you know.
Even for example, Christmas has nothing to do with the Japanese tradition.
They have Buddhism and Shinto, you know. So
they love Christmas, the Christmas spirit, the decorations.
They love celebrating.
Yes.
They really love celebrating. For example, now for the match that was on Sunday, they gifted us St. Valentine's gifts. So they brought little gifts, little chocolates and everything for kids for St. Valentine's, and it was so nice, so cute, you know. They love to celebrate Christmas. You said that they eat KFC on Christmas.
Yes, Kentucky Fried Chicken on Christmas. It's like
a tradition. Like we Balkanians eat sarma for Christmas.
You especially?
But yeah, they like to celebrate Christmas. They like to celebrate New Year. They like to celebrate St. Valentine's. We didn't came to other holidays yet.
Yeah,
but,
we saw only these holidays since we're here. That's something also I'm looking forward to. It's to see the Japanese cultural traditional celebrations, because they have a lot also. The ones that I want to see is the ones that I usually don't see in Europe, that are especially tied to the Japanese culture, to the Japanese country and things like this.
Their rituals for New Year are really something special, and maybe next year year we can
Maybe.
talk more about it and see more about it, because they have really, from the morning on until the
But
midnight,
it's something
they have
like
really
it's a little bit overwhelming if you don't know the
rules.
the rules and how it goes, because so much is happening. So yes, let's talk about my last thing I like that I wrote. It's about the food. I know it's something that is more for me than for you. I like to try different food also. Maybe I will not like it at the end, but I still love to try.
You're really not complicated.
I'm not complicated, but still, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan about seafood. I can eat seafood, I like some of it. I like to try food. I discovered a few different specialties, especially here in Nagoya. There is this eel. I tried it and I liked it a lot. It's really, really good. You didn't try it yet, but
No.
maybe that's something you should try. Don't think about eel.
What I'm eating.
Yes, just think about the taste. So yes, should we now talk about the...
Because I said two things in the end, you can now start with.
Okay, let's see what I have on my
A little
list about
less
the
good.
things that it's not that we don't like, more like
We are not used to them.
yes, it's,
or
for us
just,
it's different. So
yeah.
yes.
Don't take it like personally.
My first thing on my list is about the heating. There is no central heat in Japan. We are heating the apartment with the AC unit. I also made a video again in the corner about our apartment. In Europe, you either have central heat or you have maybe heat in the floor and things like this. So it's practical, because here in Japan, if you go out of your apartment and you turn off the AC unit, when you come back, it's really, really cold.
You don't want to do this.
You don't, yes, we did it once, and when you come back with little kids, it takes 10-20 minutes to warm up the apartment, and
Maybe even more.
so that's something I dislike.
It's just different.
We were used to something else, and we are now adapting. And
For me, the next or first thing that it's hard for me in Japan is language barrier. I came to Japan, and for me it's logical to integrate and adapt to Japanese culture. I will respect their culture, language, rituals. It's nothing wrong if people don't speak English. It's just that it's then so harder for me, because Japanese is really hard language. So for me it was a big shock that Japanese people, I would say 8% maybe
more. When you say they don't speak English, it's not like they cannot communicate. It's like
they don't understand.
It's like basics.
Even if you ask something like, do you maybe know where milk is, they're not gonna understand you.
Pronunciation is really different, because I see from the practice, when some of the guys try to communicate with us in English, their pronunciation is quite different. So not that I'm perfect in English, far from it, but when I try to speak like a better English, they sometimes don't understand. And if I'm trying to Japanize my accent and telling it with like a Japanese accent, they understand much more. For them, if you are trying to pronounce in a too good English, they have problems to
Card is cardo.
Card is cardo, and they don't say side, they say saido. It's different. I think that's one of the reasons why Japanese are having problems with English.
What I want to say is, just don't get me wrong, it's not negative thing that the Japanese people don't speak English. It's hard for me. I cannot make new friends in day-to-day, like shopping or going to doctor. I'm lucky one, because I have a doctor who is really good in English, but in this everyday desks.
But also you said the other day when you went to the game with the wife of one of my, you would like to communicate more with her. You would like to be friends and do small talk, how are you, and things like this, you know. It's so complicated, because Google Translate is fun 2-3 minutes, but after 2-3 minutes it gets really boring, and also it's tiring, you know.
Yeah, but you know, for example, this girl, a wife of your player, she was really open, and she tried to show me and speak with the gestures, and we used some of the English words, and she showed me something on the phone and with the gestures, and so it was kind of easier to communicate with her, even though she doesn't speak English. But you are gonna always have also these more introvert people that are just gonna have a hard time to speak if they don't speak English, you know?
Yes, sometimes it can happen also that when they don't speak English, they just don't want to interact with you because they feel uncomfortable, which I can relate. I can understand, because for them it's like, you know, when foreigners comes to you speaking, especially me, big and looking scary. When I come to some people, it already happened that they just like, no, I don't understand. In other words, leave me alone.
That would be one thing, like language barrier.
But we have to make more effort to at least learn some basics you know,
Chotomate.
But like you said, if you don't know, we speak both of us 5 languages, so we are, let's say, good with the languages, but Japanese is really different.
And then we come to my next thing from the list. I do sometimes feel different here. That means that I do sometimes get the look from the people, especially maybe sometimes from older people. I feel different. I feel like
you are tall.
I'm tall.
In comparison to women, Japanese women, you are tall.
Yes.
You are blonde.
Yes, I'm just different. I'm Caucasian, so I'm different to them. And it's not negative. Sometimes it is. It's just sometimes if you are feeling like a little bit like, you just want to hide and go your way, and people are sometimes staring at you a little bit.
Yes, that's what I'm going to say. Yeah? You just feel the look.
The look
even if you try to ignore it, that's what I do at least. Sometimes you feel the stare, you feel the people staring and looking at you.
Or checking you.
Maybe it's not...
And it's not something like they are judging us. Sometimes they will look at my groceries. What do I have? What do I buy, So maybe they are curious to know what I'm gonna cook or what I'm gonna eat. So these are little things that are sometimes annoying, but most of it I don't take it personally and I don't take it for something bad. I have to be honest, in 3 months I had millions great reactions, connections with people, and only one bad one. That was just one woman in the shop that I approached.
She was older?
No, 30, 40 years old, and I came to her to ask where I can buy flour. Yes. Flour. You pronounce flour?
I think yes.
Where I can find it in the shop, and she was like doing this. This is sign in Japan. For no. Yes. She was just like doing this to me.
Don't talk to me.
Don't talk to me. Go away from me. It was just, and she was distancing herself from me. Maybe it was fear of COVID because I came to Japan. Maybe she was fearing that that I have some COVID or something. Maybe it was racial. Maybe she just didn't speak English and didn't want to be bothered. Maybe she was shy. I have no idea, but it was not nice. It was a little bit aggressive, but that was the only thing in 3 months in Japan that happened. Everything else was just pure helping, connecting, smiling, and positive interaction with people.
I can totally relate with what you're saying because if you are tall, I'm also tall. I'm taller than most of the people on the streets. I'm, shaved head, tattoos, and I can sometimes feel the look on me. And when I'm walking the streets, you see me from far away. You see that I'm different. You see that I'm not from here. And especially when we are in the street with our 3 little monsters, people notice us even more. To be positive, I told you yesterday when we were on the streets. I don't know if it's with every child, but older people especially, they really.
Don't say it. It's my fun fact.
Okay.
Don't say it.
Okay. Wait. I will say it anyway. They really love Gaia.
Gaia is the superstar.
Yes, Gaia is like I don't know if it's because it's my daughter and I love her very very much, but people love her.
Special.
She's special. She is like a magnet to make people laugh, to make people smile, to make people's moment in life a bit better. We meet so many people just staring at her and waving at her. She's waving back. Yesterday we were waiting to.
She's waving to everyone.
We were waiting to cross the street, and there is the bus waiting on the red light, and the bus driver was like waving at Gaia, and Gaia was waving at him.
That's really Gaia is a superstar of Japan. She's like she's waving to everyone, and then everyone is.
Like you said, she's like the Queen of England. She's walking around and waving to everyone.
So people are really like. I think Japanese people like babies and children, but as Gaia, even maybe because she's Caucasian and maybe a little bit different, and she's like waving all the time, she's even more attractive.
She's cute, you have to say she's cute.
She's cute.
My next point, we already talked about it, but I didn't notice before, but I wrote not being able to communicate more with my teammates and people in general. Yeah. So that's what we
already talked about,
yes. Yeah. But just on the point about my teammates, I'm doing a team sport. Of course, you have to communicate first on practice and on during the games, which already is hard because of the language, but also to connect with your teammates, to make small talk.
To
connect. What did you do this weekend? Or
to build the trust.
What you do usually, what do you like? Things like this. For example, I have a teammate. he's like me, he's a geek, he's into videos, he's into cameras and all this high-tech stuff that I like. I see that he likes it, and I would like to talk about it with him, but you know, it's limited.
Language barrier.
Yes, it's really limited, and it's quite frustrating because I would like to talk to him about these things, and maybe also he would like also to communicate with me about these things, and that's something that I really dislike, but that's had nothing to do with Japan. It's just this barrier that yes.
And then we come to one thing that it's very common for both of us.
Let's see if I have it.
The one thing that is a little bit annoying in Japan, it's the tattoo rules. For New Year, we were in a nice hotel with a very beautiful spa on the almost rooftop. I wasn't allowed to go to...
You wanted to go chill a little bit without the kids?
That was the idea was that you spend the day in Universal Studios
with the boys.
And I can go to the spa in the evening, and I was not allowed.
That was the deal.
Yeah. At the bottom of my stomach, I have tattoo, and I have one small tattoo here. Spa is separated for women and men in Japan, and you go naked. And I'm not allowed to enter if I don't cover my tattoo.
You have to explain that. You have to have some kind of, it's almost like a band-aid. It's like, you know, some kind of tape band-aid that depends on the size. For me,
like
it's not possible, but for her, she has a small tattoo, and you just have to cover it in a way that it's not visible.
Small.
Yes, but still, it's not like me. I cannot cover my entire arm.
I can do it. I can buy this thing, but just then I was searching in the pharmacy to find the band-aid, and I would be waterproof to not stick too much out, because then we would come to the point when probably I would be again plus having tattoo. In the end, I didn't go to the spa. Again, it's something that I respect because I'm in the country where the rules are like that. If I would go to Saudi Arabia, I would cover my face and I would be dressed more
you just respect
properly.
the culture
so
and the rules.
I respect totally Japanese rule about or idea about tattoo. Sometimes it's just I would love to go to spa and to just not cover whatever.
For me, it's a no-go for sure, or I have to find one
private
one, or one that are more flexible with tattoo rules and they accept people with tattoos.
But we see more and more young people here
Yes.
on the streets that are having tattoos. So maybe with time, maybe
That's
years.
That's one fun fact that I will talk about later about tattoos, but maybe I can just quickly address it. In a country that is Japan, where the tattoos are still not forbidden, but still not accepted the way they are in the rest of the world or Europe or America, I see so many tattoo shops, tattoo studios, like in the streets where we are living. Maybe 1 kilometer, I think I saw 5 or 6 tattoo studios. For a country that is against tattoos, that's quite a lot. And we saw this guy on the street with tattoos on his face.
Yeah, but they looked a little bit like bad boys, Yakuza and stuff. So
I spit when I say on his face. So is it your turn or my turn now?
It's yours because I was talking about
So paperwork. First thing, everything is paper. In France, you can now sign your contracts digitally per mail, or in Japan you can forget about it. You have to do everything on paper. You have to keep your papers. You have to keep the originals. Don't think now I'm going to make a copy and I will keep the copy. No. You have to keep the originals. Second thing is that when we went to the bank, you have to do your paper yourself. So my coach wanted to help me and write fill the papers in the bank for me, because you have to write in kanji, in Japanese signs. They said no, he has to do it himself. They had to write the kanjis on the paper, and I had to redo these signs, not knowing what they means, on the paper myself. I'm lucky that I'm an artist. I can draw a little bit, so for me it was not that complicated, and I think at the end it looked like readable. But
and the good thing is that you had someone to help you.
Yes, and that's the second part of the same point that I wrote, is that as a foreigner, without the help of a Japanese person, it's almost impossible to do paperwork yourself. It's sometimes it's so complicated to to do these paperworks in Japan. I went also one time at the bank. I had 2 things to pay at the bank, and I had to fill up this paperwork myself, you know, with the account numbers and the amount, my name, the name I'm paying the person, etc. I think it took me like 1 hour because I made one mistake, and it's not like, okay, I will like, you have to start again. And I think I started like 3 times over for the first time and 2 times over for the second bill to pay. Yeah, small things become much harder to do and to achieve.
Yeah. And with this, what you say, we can jump to my last not so nice thing about Japan. I'm a Balkanian girl, you know?
What does this mean?
That means that sometimes you try to find your way between the things, you know? It's nothing illegal,
no,
it's nothing bad. No one is gonna
you will
get
try to
hurt.
You will try to find a
but
solution.
You will find an easier solution, you know? So Japanese are really sticking to the rules. There's one way.
If it's
and
white,
no
it's
other
white.
way.
It's not gray, it's not black, it's white, and it will be white because the rules
but
are the
this
rules.
is our experience for now. I thought the Germans stick to the rules, but Japanese are even.
German, step up your game.
Japanese are the pro level.